Have you ever wondered why it is that no matter how many election wins Republicans rack up, Democrats seem to always get their way? You're not alone. Well, it turns out there's a very simple answer for that. The left-wing machine never rests. Democrats are like the Terminator. They can't be reasoned with, and they will never, ever stop. You see, they apply this tenacity to everything, not just on the national level. Sure, Republicans have their issues. Look at what just happened last year with Roe v. Wade and how long that took. But it is literally everything all at once with the left. They fight for seats in the federal government and fund the hell out of local stuff, too. Who would have ever believed anyone would spend tens of millions of dollars on local district attorney races? Democrats do. It's really not just George Soros either, folks. It's the whole crazy-ass communist machine that gets unleashed on races that used to spend just a few $1,000s on lawn signs that now get issued small fortunes. Why? Because Democrats can impose their will from there like it's been passed into law, when it has decidedly not. The key word being prosecutory discretion. This has been abused to the point that the people in charge of enforcing the laws on the books are keeping separate books and ignoring their sworn duty. And the Democrats, well, they're cheering this on. How many violent goons have been let out of custody thanks to cashless bail only to offend, usually violently, again within hours? The number matters less than the fact that there are any, because there shouldn't be any. If there isn't anyone in your life who will scrape together 10% of a small bail amount to get you out of jail on bond, well, there's obviously something wrong with you. For example, the typical sociopath really has no friends or family willing to have anything to do with them. Why? Because they're not good people. But the, quote, you're either all the way in or out Democrats aren't interested in that, or in what someone is alleged to have done. Punch an old Asian lady in the face because you want to eat her sandwich, they'll have you out on the streets before the bread even gets hard. It's disgusting. Not surprising, but disgusting. Democrats fight for all seats in government, not just the ones that get media attention. Republicans do too, but to a significantly smaller extent. Here's a perfect case in point. Did you know there's an election coming up in Wisconsin? Not for governor or House or Senate, but for the Supreme Court. It's not really romantic or exciting. Who gets excited to vote for a judge? But folks, it matters. In fact, it matters a lot. Just like all those Democrats fighting their asses off harder than ever before to take over the Secretary of State's offices across the country. Remember those? In banana republics, it is less important who votes than it is who counts those votes. Well, if I'm really being honest, in elections in the United States, I'm skeptical if it still matters who votes, at least in the all-important swing states, at least for now. And the scary stuff begins with the circumstances under which not only those votes are counted, but the laws under which those votes were cast. Those laws determine who can legally vote and how votes can be collected. How they are collected. Oh, indeed, how important it is how they are collected. As we learned in 2020, this opens up the entire process to, let's say, shenanigans if they aren't handled securely and transparently. To double back to my original point, the balance of the Wisconsin Supreme Court hangs in the balance here. And as was reported in Politico, this election, quote, is the hinge on which Wisconsin's political future will swing, and Wisconsin is the hinge on which national politics swings, unquote. Why? Well, it shouldn't be. Being a judge should be a simple job. Look at the plain language of the law and rule accordingly, right? But the left has turned the courts into super legislatures, places where their will can be imposed by overturning the will of the people's representatives, or laws can be declared into existence without anyone holding the job of legislating having to actually do it. Wisconsin matters in the 2024 election. This state Supreme Court election would matter even if it didn't. But it does. That means Democrats have unleashed the hounds to support ultra-left-wing candidate Janet Protasiewicz. Will Republicans meet the challenge for conservative former Justice Daniel Kelly? Well, I don't know. But they damn well better, or else we'll all be left at the mercy of judges with the same dedication to the law as the prosecutors of New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, St. Louis, and the hundreds of other pits of despair across the country Soros and Democrats have created. Lastly, Donald Trump has been a gift in so many ways. The reaction to Donald Trump says everything. In my opinion, the RNC is a corrupt laundromat, existing to move voters' donations around the good old boy clubhouse, picking and choosing who gets to win or lose these elections. This has been going on for far too long. Because here's a newsflash, exactly like the Democrats, they aren't helping you or looking out for Republican voters in general. The whole damn club is probably bought and paid for by George Soros. Let me ask you a question. Would it surprise you one damn bit if you found out Soros and Mitch McConnell were old golfing buddies? It certainly wouldn't me. Most of this came by way of townhall.com. If you liked it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Hi. Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.